Hi beloved friends, welcome to another video snippet, and it's so good to be able to find the time to do one of these lovely little sacred offerings again. At the moment we're on a 2-month tour of Canada and the States. We're in Montreal at the moment, but soon to drop into Vancouver, Portland, Taos, Santa Fe,
and in
California, LA, Ohio, Malibu, and all sorts of places in between. But first of all, we'd very much like to share our latest insights. And it is this. Now that the superficial irritants that our egos used to feel, myself and Pete, when we first got together, now that those really superficial, silly little bits and bobs have been smoothed out of the way, I'm noticing now that when it starts to get scary and intense and uncomfortable for me in relation to Pete, I can't help but notice that it seems to be a mirror image of my birthing experience. My birthing experience was an intense and long labor. I was very eager to get out. I was pushing hard. It was enduring. It lasted 2.5 days. Mum is small and she was scared and tight. And I was a big baby, big round baby, and I wanted to get out of there ASAP. And I used all of my willpower, and I had a big head, and in the end I had to have forceps, which made my head even bigger. And I was determined. So what I'm noticing, thank you, Conehead. So what I'm noticing is that this beautiful little body of mine, it's first movement was to push and to grow muscles and go head first at something. And I seem to do exactly the same thing when I'm having a moment with Pete.
Always.
Thank you again, so helpful. I just like get all tight and be brave and courageous and pump my muscles up and say ridiculous things like, okay, let's just do this. I'm just going to face it. And I just simply don't pay any, or haven't paid any attention to the inner feminine within me. It's all so big and bold and burly. And of course I've started off the video in this way because here I am, I'm out the front. And of course Pete, he likes to play the opposite pole, which is to
Withdraw. Back off. Keep out of the way. Stay in the shadows.
So check this out, beloved friends. Watch what happens now.
Oh, that's mega uncomfortable. But we're kind of looking in the field of our favourite stories of ourselves again. That Anaiya has one way of meeting life. It started before, or at birth, and she's been meeting life ever since because it's a strategy that works. To go at life full velocity, make things happen. And if she wants something in life, she goes out and gets it. She earns the money for it and she buys it. She doesn't expect someone else to kind of get it for her. She wouldn't think of that. It's just going at it and getting it. My way of living life is the opposite. It's kind of waiting for life to happen. Things turn. Even this pair of glasses, I needed a pair of glasses and just happened to find them when we're walking around the city here. And that's kind of, it's great, but it's kind of typical of an approach. And neither of these two ways actually are completely authentic. They're both a way of dealing with life, but it isn't who we really are. But we don't know any other way of being. especially under pressure. So it's interesting to play with, Anaiya's not just gone level with me, but she's backed off. So putting me in a place where I'm not used to being. These days I can easily come round her and start speaking, for example. But I prefer maximally for it to be equal footing rather than taking centre stage, as it were. I don't know what that means.
Quite so sure about that one.
No?
So, beloved friends, I'm just going to draw up alongside you and say we're on this, and that we're both very excited because we're going to learn some family constellations. Because the pair of us, we don't like talking about this stuff. We like to actually get in the body and start enacting it and understanding it as a living experience rather than a contemplation. So as we start to work more with one another and facilitating space for both men and women, we are going to so be looking at the mother and father wounds or traumas or interactions from our childhood, as an introspective look at, is this what is really going on in our present and adult relationships? Because I fully believe the answer is a big yes on this one. And I'm even going to throw God in there. For me as a lady, Pete, my father, and my very male understanding of a God are all one and the same being. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit like that for the men. Present day partner, mama, and some idea of some sort of goddess, mother goddess, is all one and the same being. So, beloved, dear friends, if that is the kind of interactive work you are thirsting for, then it's going to be available next weekend, weekend in Vermont, in Burlington. We're going in. Let's just park that romance thing on a shelf for now, and let's roll up those sleeves, and there you go, there's the energy again. Push forward. Push forward and get this thing done. No. I so have to learn a new language. Let's just relax into, and in our leisure, turn our gentle but all-permeating presence to our childhood for emotional contexts for why we feel contraction, discomfort and angst in our present-day adult relatings.
Or expansion, over-expansion as a way of hiding as well. By going out there and being overactive, acting out is also a way of hiding a truer self. But it's a simple question, whether you're coming to Burlington or not, is start looking around in your own past. Which of your parents could you say you probably got some kind of, it's not to lay blame on them, but got the deepest woundings from? Was it as many guys are with their mother? Was it with father or absent mother or absent father? Or was it even in the mix between the two parents and the storms or whatever that went on? Did you take it on you as your responsibility to fix it? Or were you a little ambassador already, before teenage years? What was it that happened in your early life that laid the foundation and patterning for how you relate or misrelate to adult partners? So a real asking you to look in there, just as we're doing. This is very real for us. We just before we put the camera on, we're at this. What is here? What are the unconscious agreements we've gone into with the feminine, with the masculine, and what are we hiding and why? Hope you do come to both.
And another one that might be interesting. And why could we fear their greatest unraveling? Why would I fear the masculine unraveling into all that he is? And I don't know what that is. Why on earth would I fear that? I do, but why? Why? Why am I not just concerned with my own unraveling?
Yeah.
And why would Pete fear my greatest unraveling expansion beingness?
That's easy.
Why?
Well, for me, it's the fear of you expanding without me, the fear of losing you.
Right.
Old fear. But that, even that is, you see what happens is a storyline in it. The thing in us, you could say it's mind, or it's whatever personality. There's a part that has a story, and it's that part that's been governing how we relate to past partners or present partners. And who is it that's got the story running, and is it true? And who are we, the other side of that deepest fear? Who could we be then? Let's find out.
Yeah.
That's not an underground map. Yeah?
Yes.